Someone you care about is suffering right now, and you've done everything you know to do. You've shown up, you've listened, you've sent the encouraging text, you've even prayed in that tired, half-desperate way we all do at like 11 p.m. when you're running out of words. And nothing seems to be changing. So you sit with this quiet, uncomfortable feeling. Like, is my faith even enough to help someone else? Can I even pray for someone when my own prayer life is barely holding together? Because here's the thing nobody really talks about. Most of us are over here trying to get our own faith right first before we can be a blessing to someone else. Like we're waiting until we hit some spiritual level unlock before we're qualified to stand in the gap for another person. And meanwhile, the people we love are waiting. But there's a story in Matthew 8 that completely broke that assumption for me. And what makes it wild is the main character isn't even a follower of Jesus. And yet Jesus says he has more faith than anyone he's seen in Israel. That should stop you right there. Because whatever you think faith looks like, this man redefined it. In Matthew 8, verse 5, a Roman centurion walks up to Jesus. Now understand what that means. This man is the enemy. He's a military commander for the occupying empire that has Israel under its boot. He has no reason to humble himself before anyone. He commands 100 soldiers, and yet he comes to Jesus not for himself, he comes for his servant, someone beneath him socially, someone who, in that culture, most people wouldn't have even thought twice about. He says, "Lord, my servant is lying at home, paralyzed, suffering terribly." That's it. No long speech, no negotiation, no "here's what I need you to do." Just this person I care about is in pain, and I came to you. And this is where it gets deeper. Jesus immediately says, "I'll come and heal him." And you'd expect the centurion to just say yes, obviously, please hurry. But instead he says something that stops Jesus cold. "Lord, I don't deserve to have you come under my roof. Just say the word, and my servant will be healed." That hit me when I really sat with it. This man has power, status, soldiers under his command, and he shows up with nothing but humility and one request. Not for himself, for someone else. And here's what's wild about that. We usually think boldness in prayer looks like confidence in ourselves. Like we have to have it together before we can ask God for something big. But the centurion was bold precisely because he wasn't thinking about himself at all. His whole focus was on the person suffering at home. That's what gave his prayer its weight. And this is where it gets deeper. He tells Jesus why he believes. He says, "I'm a man under authority. I tell someone to go, they go. I tell someone to come, they come." He understood that real authority doesn't need to physically show up. It just needs to speak. He wasn't asking Jesus to perform. He was telling Jesus, "I already know who you are." Jesus turns to the crowd and says, essentially, "I haven't seen this kind of faith from anyone. Not from the religious leaders, not from the disciples, from this Roman military commander praying for his servant." So let's bring that back to you. You've been wondering if your prayers for your friend, your sibling, your parent, the person who is suffering and can't seem to find their footing, you've been wondering if those prayers are even landing anywhere. But look at what Jesus honored here. He didn't honor a perfectly structured prayer. He honored a man who had the audacity to believe that Jesus' word was enough, even for someone else, even from a distance, even when the situation looked impossible. Your friend might not have the faith right now. They might be in a season where they can barely get out of bed, let alone open their Bible. And honestly, we've all been that person at some point. Most of us have shown up to church looking completely fine while falling apart inside, like we're auditioning for the role of okay person. But the centurion didn't wait for his servant to get strong enough to come to Jesus himself. He went on his behalf. That's intercession. And it doesn't require you to be spiritually perfect. It requires you to believe that Jesus' word is enough. Here's the payoff, and I need you to actually sit with this. The centurion's servant was healed, at a distance, without Jesus walking through the door, because one person believed enough to ask. Your prayer for someone you love is not nothing. It is not a symbolic gesture. God doesn't need you to be standing next to them physically for His word to reach them. He just needs someone willing to show up and ask. So here's the question I'll leave you with. Who in your life right now is paralyzed, maybe not physically, but emotionally, spiritually, financially, and they don't have the strength to bring it to God themselves? Because you might be the centurion in their story. You might be the reason things shift for them this week. Don't wait until your faith feels strong enough. The centurion didn't have it all figured out either. He just showed up and trusted the word was enough. Pray for that person today. Not a vague bless them prayer. A specific, bold, centurion-level prayer, Lord. You don't even have to show me how. Just say the word. And if this hits something real in you, drop a comment below. I read them all. And if you know someone who needs to hear this, don't just share the video, share it with a prayer. That might be the most powerful thing you do today.